Okay, we're gonna take off these nuts and I'm gonna just hold this. There you go, done. Nice, nice and nicer. Okay, so do this. Okay, we have here the clutch. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just measure a few things. We're gonna measure the friction plate thickness. All right, we're not gonna measure really the pressure plates. Also, they have a minimum and a standard and a service limit as well. But we're just gonna measure the friction plates, and we're also gonna measure, there's these springs here. Okay, so there's a minimum and there's a standard, and there's a service limit, and there's also big springs in there. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna take this thing right apart pretty fast. We're just gonna kind of put the components like that so we don't mix them up. We'll put them in the same order. There you go. Simple as that. So this, like this, rotate it, put it there. Proceed. There's gonna be balls beneath this. Okay. Here. Ooh. So I can feel the balls on there. You see that? Don't like that, but I might hit that with a 1500 sandpaper. It seems to be worn in there, right? That's where the balls are hitting, resting against. Just put them in the center here. That's cool. Nice, real nice actually. So cool. Okay, that, right? Okay, so now we're gonna come to the nitty gritty. Oh shoot. We're gonna clean that up. Look at all the bits of metal on there. Jesus. What the hell? Your first pressure plate. Oh. Worn, you could really feel the worn outness of that, but don't tell my buddy. Okay, first friction plate. Okay, we're gonna take it out like this. Alrighty. Wow, it's brass. Incredible. I thought it would be some type of other material, friction material, right? But it's brass. 100% or brass-ish. Jesus, it might be like a semi-metallic kind of thing. Meters. Okay, and we're gonna measure it in a couple places. 2.69. Just gonna write down these numbers for one plate, then the other plate. Okay, so basically we measured 2.68, which is a little bit above the service limit. And well, the average here is about 2.70, let's say 72, 73 actually, 2.73, which is really good, kind of. However, this one here, she's kind of bent these, so this is like the inverse of the spline shaft, right? Okay, so it's nasty. Actually nasty. There's actually a cut there, so I don't know what Buddy wants to do with that. Okay, here are your small springs. I'm just gonna measure them up. Just gonna back it off until it drops, and that's pretty much it. Okay, now to get at the big spring here, underneath here, that pressure plate, we're just gonna have to undo these cotter pins. Take them out one by one. Probably replace them, right? And this is your clutch adjustment, by the way, as well. 1, 2, and 3, and we'll have to adjust it afterwards when we put it all together. And basically, you're just looking for about a one. It actually is a 1 millimeter gap between this this plate here and your friction material, right there. All right. Take them off. This guy. Small, yep. Here we go, big springs. Let's measure those up. Maybe new friction plates and large and small springs. Okay, we've measured up some new components, and the new components was $115 Canadian. Okay, so there you have it. So there's your standard and your service limits, right? So here's your standard. It looks like it's 120 thou, and we're getting 118 thou, 114 thou. Your service limit is basically 104 thou, so we're good. We're good. And here you have your big spring. Your standard is your 736 thou. There, we got one there. This one's a little bit low. Service limit is 712 thou though, so you're good. You're good. It's really hard to measure these springs, the width of them, because they're kind of springy and they're not very square, right? They don't have flat ends. They're not parallel really. So this number is somewhat subjective, right? Especially for the small one. Old springs out. We already measured those up. We already showed what those were. New springs. Let's get these. We're gonna soak them up in nice motor oil, because that's what it's gonna be. The transmission fluid on this thing is motor oil. New springs. Wow. And these are new. So those there. Oh shoot. This goes on one way. It really only goes on one way. You have to squeeze this and start the nuts. And let me tell you what a difference to put this on. I'm just using a huge socket to press the inside of there, right, the pressure plate, so that I can get this the springs compressed a little bit. And I'm putting these on the same way as I took them off, so it looks nice. But boy, what a difference. The spring. New springs versus old springs. Big difference. Okay, so we're just gonna screw this on slowly. We're gonna turn one turn each to make it even. So another turn here. There you go. It's a good starting point. Wow. Actually, we'll back that off a half a turn. We're gonna have to measure it, right? Motor oil. That's what's gonna be used, right? This is gonna be all entrenched in motor oil, so that's what you do it. Okay, typically we soak these in whatever fluid it is, but we're gonna just put the motor oil on there. Put a lot of oil in there and just assemble. That one. So that's this guy, which is the old. Then we put this guy here like this. Sorry. Got my mask on here, and I can't see very well because it's fogging up in the garage. Okay, so new springs are in here. Those are the old. This was the new. This is the old. Toss that away. What comes next is this other pressure plate. Okay, we lined this up with the springs now. Alrighty, there you go. And now we'll put, oh, you know what? We'll put a little bit more oil. Mind you, we did put lots of oil. Okay, so now this guy here just goes like this. You'd think it wouldn't go like this, but it does. All right, and then you put the balls in there. So there's this place here that's somewhat marred from the bearings, oh sorry, the balls, right? So what we're gonna do is, I was thinking, to rotate it as well, huh? We'll put it this way. Clutch is almost done. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so when you put this retainer clip on, I'd put it on so that the opened ends are in this area here, and so that, you know, there's the clip is all the way on these areas, right? Simple, right? Opening is here. That's it. So now we're gonna adjust the clutch. So we need 1 millimeter feeler gauge. So we'll get that. Okay, feeler gauge, 1 millimeter. Okay, you put two of them together, you get your 1 millimeter. Oh, me lock them up. Oh, me lock them up. What we do now is we loosen up all these nuts 100%, like this. Go, just retighten that one so it's completely loose. All of them. Just tighten it to where because you felt it, right? You just snug it down just a little bit by hand, and then we're gonna tighten them evenly, and we're gonna create a 1 millimeter gap between the clutch plates.
So you want to see how far off they are already there, or no?
No, just keep on going. I would go like a whole half turn, eh? But okay. Okay, so you stick in your 1 millimeter feeler gauge between the clutch plate there, and you adjust evenly until they're all evenly feeling the feeler gauge. Adjusted. Now we have to pin it. Okay, so here we're just gonna put the cotter pins in. You just tighten it up or loosen it ever so slightly to a line. Which one we're gonna loosen, you think?
I think it's closer.
Closer tightening it?
No,
It's right.
loosening it, yeah.
Loosen it? Okay. Then we'll remeasure.
Measure, we got. So
See?
you're gonna measure after.
And this one's already in line. We're gonna measure it. Measure the gap, no? There you go. Don't bend them. Now we're gonna remeasure with feeler gauge.
Well, you don't know where Mark is, eh?
He's probably at home.
He doesn't talk no more?
No, I talked to him. He was talking, he wanted something from Princess Auto.
Mm-hmm.
And,
What'd you tell him, no?
no, I was gonna go. I want to buy another one of those trolleys. 44 bucks.
So why doesn't he come, man? He doesn't want to come?
Okay, so now we're gonna plop her in. Keys there, washer's there. Line up the key. Key has to be lined up, eh? That key, eh? She moves, eh, all the time. Okay, so now here we gotta slide her down and make sure the clutch plates line up. So we're gonna have to hold the piston here and turn this and turn it so that it's actually turn the clutch basket here and work its way down. It should just fall down nice and easy. Okay, you just work her down. She's leveled down nice. Put it in the lock washer. And you put this nice in the way it was. Look at the way it bit on there, eh? See it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Put it on and you torque her down. No, I don't. Oh, you know what? I actually do have a spanner. I have a spanner. You can use a spanner. Okay, because we have the spanner. Torque wrench. 33 to 45 foot-pounds.
39.50.